Nor do I care, because we're just having fun here on the Samboner Show. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Samboner Show. Here, as always, Mr. Colin Thompson. I'm Samboner Mick. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Woo! Happy Friday! We got to say that on this beautiful broadcast. Happy Friday, folks. It's a beautiful day in the Samboner hood. It's a beautiful time to be a Samboner. The NFL draft kicked off last night. We'll be watching that throughout the entire weekend. This episode is brought to you by our good friends at the Original Fudge Kitchen, shipping sweet treats all across the country. The Original Fudge Kitchen, chocolate, vanilla, peanut butter, swirl, you name it, they got it. Go online, ship some treats to a good friend for their birthday, for the holidays. The summer's right around the corner. Looking forward to an unbelievable summer, and big thanks to our friends at the Original Fudge Kitchen for making this show possible. Colin, how we doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Absolutely love the Fudge Kitchen, getting it for Mother's Day coming up, so I'm jacked for that. I'm doing great, man. Obviously, the draft, and this is an episode that we're super excited to do. For those that follow the show, we try to have the bullpen episode, right? So, or don't follow the show, we'll summarize it. We'll have a bullpen episode, which brings in just people that are Samboners, and we have them on and we talk to them and just chop it up, have a good time. That's always one episode per month. There's another episode per month that's featuring a chef, like a Tony Luke, or like, just a different breed, the deli guy on this month, like people that are chefs and small business owners and whatever they may be. We just feature them and talk to them about their journey. And then one of our favorite episodes, if not our favorite, is the location episode at the end of the month, where we find a place, we deep dive into it. We talk about the mom and pops. We talk about the famous places. We talk about, you name it, we talk about it. And this week, this month, is none other than South Philly, Mick. When you hear South Philly, oh, baby.
I have like goosebumps right now.
What comes to mind?
I goosebumps, man. Honestly, the first thing that comes to mind for me is growing up as a kid, my dad taking me down to Veteran Stadium for a baseball game. And I don't know why this just came to mind, but my dad was a huge fan of Ralph's Italian restaurant right on 9th Street, right in the Italian market. Like, honestly, like right down the street from Angelo's. And we would just hit that up at 5 o'clock. He'd get off work. We'd drive down, hit Ralph's Italian, get like a nice chicken parm or veal parm with Alfredo sauce. I used to love chicken parm with Alfredo sauce growing up. Grab a couple Shirley Temples. I used to call them baseballs. I always felt like Shirley Temples was like the girl way to say it. No offense to anybody out there, but I called them baseballs. But yeah, my dad would grab a couple pops. We'd have a nice Italian dinner, and then him and I would go down. He had unbelievable seats thanks to Kenny's Bar in Southampton. Shout out Kenny's Bar. My dad, Joe Shields, Vince Shields, and their father picked up a full season ticket plan back in the 70s. So I was fortunate enough to go down to a lot of Phillies games at Veteran Stadium, sitting second row behind the home dugout as a kid. And we'd always stop at Ralph's and pick up dinner before the game. So that's one of my finest memories of South Philadelphia as a kid. How about yourself, Colin?
Man, when I think of South Philly, I think of a few different things. Obviously food and the culture and sports and the people. But for me as a kid, like you said, growing up with my dad and going down to the 3 Flyers games a year, and we sat in the same seats because of the Rotary Club in Doylestown. My dad bought them from the same guy every year, and it was like 17th row. I'll never forget it. And go down there and hit Chickies before and sit next to him at the bar. And as a little kid, the bartenders would treat me awesome. My dad, like you said, having a couple pops and eating crab fries and like just awesome moments and fires and Lindros and like people are fighting. And that other memory of mine that just popped in my head was my buddy's dad, Kevin Murphy, who's a firefighter in I forget where he's at now, but somewhere Buck County, Montgomery area. His father used to run Comcast, and he would run the building and the operations side of it. So we'd be able to run rampant through the buildings. And right before the Spectrum shut down, they would call them 715ers. And it was all the people that worked for Comcast and the Flyers and the Phantoms would play on the ice in the morning. So we play hockey with like the GM of the Flyers and like the front office and like all the people that clean the ice and the vending machine people. Like everybody would play hockey in the morning, and then we would help the crew clean the ice in the morning for the Phantom. Awesome. So one day we played hockey at 6:15 or 7:15, helped clean the ice in the morning. Then we went to breakfast in South Philly somewhere I forget. I believe there's a diner down there in one of the like the shipping centers right next to the stadium. I don't know what it is, but
Melrose Diner?
Maybe it's like you got to go through the
No,
gate.
that's Melrose, though.
Yeah, it's not Melrose, but we would go down, clean the ice in the morning, go to breakfast, Flyers game at 1:00, Phillies World Series at 7:30. It was like the best day of my life. I'll never forget it. And I just have a lot of fond memories of going to the games down there. I think all of us do. And then on an outside note, from an outside perspective, there's a lot of Philly people listening here. But when I bring up Philly to all my guys around the league, or I bring up Philly to guys I played with or their parents or people down here in Annapolis, man, it's so cool having all the sports venues right there. Don't take it for granted, Philly. Most cities, I played in Chicago, Wrigley's here, this stadium's here, that's there. You got to drive. There's a hub of South Philly, and then the greatest food and culture neighborhood that one of them that this country has to offer
And
is
that's
right
it,
there.
dude. That's it. That's the best part about this episode. And we're going to dive into some of these places, but just like we're talking some of the best sandwiches, some of the best Italian meats, some of the best Italian meals, like at your fingertips, 5-6 minutes from the sports complex. This
From
talk
95.
about the 76ers moving to the city. I don't know, man. I hope it never happens, honestly.
It's an interesting concept. We talked about it here on Not For Long. Brian O'Grady, our host of the baseball show, said absolutely not. I said absolutely because growing up, I thought it was so cool. Like when we go to Madison Square Garden, my dad would take me up like every couple of years, watch a Flyers game up there, and like taking the train in and coming up into the city, and like all the people are wearing jerseys, and I was like, man, that's
you got
so
a point though. It would entice people more to use public transportation. The fact that you can just get on, you don't have to pay $25-$35 for parking.
Dude, you live right near a train station there. Everybody does in Bucks County, Montgomery County. Like we're all near a train station. And from speaking for someone who's in Maryland, we're in Annapolis. DC's an hour drive. We can't get on a train and go. You got to drive into the city.
I know, but like,
it's kind of cool to hop on a train.
Attendance is not a struggle at the Sixers, though.
No, but there's a money issue with the business side.
True.
And we're off the rails per usual, but I think it'd be an interesting side to talk about what it do for small business in the city. Reading Terminal Market that's where it would be done. It's an interesting debate. South Philly, though, it's a magical place again. And I think too, to add the mix about the sandwiches, and the hoagies, and all the stuff on, South Street, all that cool stuff. Now there's just influx of all kinds of eats. We're going to get into that today, but there's something for everybody. It's not just Italian food and cheesesteaks down there. I mean, South Philly is a great place to live in this city now, and it's brought a lot of people in with diverse cultures and backgrounds. I think, pound for pound, from all my travels, culture and food, it's up there in the best country.
11 more years. My youngest will be out of high school. My wife doesn't want to hear this, but my goal is to move to South Philadelphia, be able to hit all these places, have them at your fingertips, walk to the game, or hop on the subway. Nothing better. Dude,
my buddy lives right behind Chickies in a row home. It's where he grew up. Oh,
yeah.
And the best part is he's like, this guy's a mobster. This guy's a police officer. and the neighborhood is pristine behind Chickies. You could eat off the ground.
Dude, it is.
It's pristine.
It is, man. I would want to be more closer to like the heart of South Philadelphia.
Yeah, of course.
Bainbridge, but that is either here nor there. So
great subways too, by the way. The subway right there, bang, up and down Broad Street. Like that's really super convenient for South. It's a side note.
Man. It needs work.
Well, it's been a while for me. It's been a while for me. I'll say when I was at Temple, we used to hop on, take the express down and hit games up, and then take the local back and jump up and hit this pub here, and then get the next local stop, hit this pub. Just love South Philly. God, I love South Philly.
So, without further ado, let's set the bar here, right? So there's a lot to talk about in South Philadelphia. I always joke, like it is the Samboner heaven, right? South Philadelphia is the glue, the heart of the Samboner hood. And I don't think we would be, justifying the Samboner hood if we didn't talk about 4 spots right out of the gate, right? These are historic, iconic places. They get labeled as the tourist trap, right? We could talk about Pat's and Geno's. Pat's and Geno's is the Mecca of not only just Philly cheesesteaks. I don't even like labeling it Philly cheesesteaks. Like people outside of Philadelphia, when you label it Philly cheesesteaks, that tells me you probably don't have a good cheesesteak. If you just label it cheesesteak, you got a good cheesesteak. But people coming all over the country, flying into Philadelphia, they want to go to Pat's and Geno's. You should go to Pachinginos. Now, look, is Pachinginos the best cheesesteak in the entire tri-state? The answer is no. However, you got to pay respect where respect is due. Without Pachinginos, there is no cheesesteak landscape, right? This is the bread and butter when it comes to cheesesteaks. So, huge kudos to both Pat's, Geno's, setting the cheesesteak landscape and giving everybody that vision to create another opportunity for other places. And then we fall right into like John's Roast Pork and Tony Luke's, right? John's Roast Pork on Snyder Ave. They've been in business 50 plus years, Colin. We've been at this thing for 4 years. We like to have fun with the Samboners and the top 10 cheesesteak list. And, John's Roast Pork was 1, John's Roast Pork was 2, back to 1, back to 2. But like at the end of the day, this is an establishment that has just continued to do it day in, day out. One of the most consistent cheesesteak joints in Philadelphia, in the Samboner hood. But in addition to that, they do an unbelievable hot roast pork. They were doing cutlets at one point, hoagies, just the vibe outside of John's Roast Pork. It's just South Philly through and through. You stop there before Flyers, Sixers, Eagles, Phillies game. Their hours are a little different, right? So they have their unique hours. It's not the place you're going to hit after a game, but Pachinginos, yeah, that's the place you're going to hit before or after. You're going to go see the shiny lights. What was the movie they just filmed right outside? I mean, there's a ton of
There's
movies.
a ton.
Yeah.
I'll say this, Mick. I'll add this. I don't know the movie, but when Archbishop Wood would go down and play Newman Goretti, you take the bus and of course, the old school bus, you pile down there and you pass Pachinginos on the way in. And no matter how much we get blown out by, now this is old school Wood basketball, not the new school who beats Newman. We would get smoked. And then we would get back on the bus. We drive to Pachinginos and you'd have a whatever, either per diem or something from your parents, and you'd be able to pick one or the other, and you have 15 minutes to get your cheesesteak and then back on the bus to go home. So it's a staple locally and then globally. Because when you're from Philly, Pachinginos, right? I mean, this is all over the country where I played. So yeah, I would like to give that perspective because again, I don't think Philly people really know how good we have it.
No, they don't. But again, if anybody out of Philadelphia or out of Pennsylvania is coming in to watch a Phillies game or an Eagles game, you should go to Pachinginos. That's what you do, man. You got to go
next to each other. The courts are right there. It's so South Philly.
And little do you know, the outskirts, there's just so many freaking gems, and we'll get into those gems. But again, without further ado, you gotta pay respect to Tony Luke's, now Tony and Nick's, right on Oregon Ave. I mean, just another again. Is it touristy? Sure, right? It's Tony Luke's, man. Tony Luke Jr. has been at this thing for as long as I can remember. As a kid, just going down to South Philadelphia for a Phillies game, let's go pick up an Italian hoagie or a cheesesteak or a hot roast pork at Tony Luke's. Why wouldn't you, man? The lights are shining. Anytime you see the neon lights, dude, you start glowing. Right? You start
right off 95. You can kind of look down and see it when you're heading south. And I'll say this, they're touristy, but guess what? Pachinginos, there's still plenty of Philly people that eat there, right?
Yeah, and they've kept it traditional, right? They didn't get into the seeded rolls, they didn't get into the Cooper Sharp whiz. It's just a standard regular cheesesteak doing the trick. Yeah, you're gonna oftentimes get one that's just a little off the rails, but
couple drinks.
That's what we do here in the Samboner Show.
Couple hoo-has. What's the difference? 9.9.
Yeah. So man, just doing my research here for this show, and then you just you start jotting down all these things, and it's man alive. I got stories to the cows come home with these places. I've Samboned them all, dude. And if I haven't Samboned them, Samboner Nation has backed this up and put their foot forward on a lot of these places. So we'll just continue to run down the list. Appreciate everybody listening in. Hope that you guys continue to, share this episode with friends. If you got some out-of-towners coming into Philadelphia that are looking for recommendations, shoot them this podcast, man. We'll run it down for you. We'll show them what's right, what's wrong. The next one on the list is Phillips. So Phillips, dude, have you ever had Phillips? I don't think you have.
I have not.
Okay, so I haven't until about 2020. And when I got there for the first time, I said to myself, why have I never been here? If you're going down 76 and you're heading down to the game and you yield off Sports Complex to the right, and then Passyunk Ave. I hope I get that right. Passyunk.
Dude, you always say it's wrong. You're doing fine, bro.
Yeah, well, fuck anybody that wants to call me out on it. But at the end of the day, no, I'm just kidding. Like, so you make that left, and Phillips is right there on your right. So I pull up to Phillips that one day, and this is a good story because we decided to go live with Samboners in August of 2020. And, we had a ton of reviews prior, just amongst a couple, friends of ours, just doing it, over text. So we finally went live. My first live Sambone. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go down to the shore. I'm going to stop at Phillips Steaks. Never been there before in my life. They serve like that flapjack, like the flats. You can either have the chopped or the flats, kind of like Steve's Princess Steaks. So they very similar to Steve's Princess Steaks. Dude, blew me away. Knocked my socks off and posted up on my hood of my car, Phillips Steaks in the back. I'm like, this is literally like 2 minutes from the ballparks. Growing up as a kid, and I've never been there. But dude, this place is legit. I got the traditional whiz. Like I've converted to the American cheese, now the Cooper Sharp. But as a kid, like ages 13 all the way to 30, I was a whiz guy, man. Whiz wit all the way through. And these guys do a number on the flapjack style cheesesteak with the whiz, the onions. Big shout out to Phillips. Love it there, dude. And it's been hit multiple times by Samboner Nation. What else do we got? Next in line, we got Angelo's. Man, I was going to save this for last, but it's just next in line. I don't put anything in alphabetical order or anything like that. Again, we went to Wood, got a graduate, a business degree from Penn State University. But
is that what you call it?
But yeah, dude. Well, I mean, what can we say about Angelo's, Colin? Honestly, like it's the game changer, right? Again, like this isn't your Pats and Geno's. This is the new era, new age cheesesteak. Danny and the boys are, just brewing up and baking some of the best bread and the best sandwiches in South Philadelphia. If this cheesesteak is not in your top 3, we need to have a conversation. I mean, these guys get in at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Go ahead. Just go ahead, Colin. What do you got?
I'm saying they should be number 1.
Always.
I don't mean to interrupt. Like go back to what you're talking about the dedication, the work ethic, and those that are interested in that. We had Mr. Freaking Cheesesteak himself on, but I don't want to cut you off, Mick. Continue about the grind, the effort these guys put in here.
Talk about it, dude. Go ahead.
No, I just think that, listen, if they're not number 1 on your cheesesteak palette, I did John's roast pork. I went to Temple. Obviously, I've talked about it on here a bunch, but I had the opportunity to speak to the football team there. So the football guys like, dude, they're big Samboner guys, right? So like, let's get out and let's freaking Sambone. Where do you want to go? I'm like, well, all right. I mean, I think this is a perfect time to go to Angelo's. So like, let's go to John Roast Pork first. And I'm sitting down there talking about it. I'm like, I've never been to Angelo's. Like, well, let's go to Angelo's too. I'm like, great. So I Sambone John Roast Pork. It's the best thing I ever put in my mouth. Unbelievable. Tastiest cheesesteak of all time. Number 1. I think I gave it a 9.6, 9.7. And then I had Danny's cheesesteak at Angelo's. 15 minutes after, literally got in the car, drove to Angelo's. 15 minutes. And people said it. They're right. It's a game changer. First off, the service and the people in there are just unbelievable. Okay. Like I just want to hang out in there all day, crack a beer, sit in the window chill and just hang out.
Because Danny will have you right in, man. He's got a nice little second floor up there.
It's a show and it's first class. They don't have any room left. There's so many ovens and there's people working everywhere. They have 15 people working back there. It's smaller than my little bar here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. If you haven't listened to the episode with the owner, Danny from Angelo's, oh my God, this guy wears it on his sleeve. He's struggling to break 85 on an every given day. But outside of that, the guy can bake bread. The guy can make cheesesteaks. He's got an unbelievable staff. He's got an unbelievable business going. You got to check it out. And do yourself a favor and listen to that episode. But
good call.
Yeah, moving right along. We broke this down in like cheesesteaks and sandwiches. Like, there's places that just really, I think, are primarily cheesesteak places. Again, we're a bunch of wing nuts here. What do we got next on the list? Oh, Jaxx Steaks. Formerly Charlie's Roast Pork became Jaxx. Caught up with the owner Joe a couple days back. Big fan of the Samboners. He turned Charlie's Roast Pork into this like Jaxx Steaks in Pensport. It's more of like a bar. Shout out Brian McGrath, Samboner Nation. He hit this place. And just you got the eye. I've never had it, right? So I can't talk a big game about it, but like I'm a big fan of the eye test, right? Look, shit, man. I hope I don't get killed by saying this, but like you either can make a good cheesesteak or you can't, right? If you put the time and effort into it, the little TLC I like to talk about, you can produce a good cheesesteak. These guys are bringing in the seeded fresh rolls, using the Cooper Sharp. Brian raved about it. I think he also did a cutlet from there as well, and the cutlet looked dynamite. And then just in addition to the transition from Charlie's roast pork to now Jaxx steaks, they created a bar, Colin, so you can go in there, grab a sandwich, grab a beer, post up the corner bar. Yep, watch the Phils game. And it's right there in South Philadelphia, the Pennsport area of South Philadelphia on Wharton Street. A must recommendation, yeah, check it out if you can. And then, dude, there's just a ton of other places right there, like in the South Philadelphia, like within a mile from the stadiums, like Avenue Steaks. Your boy talked about Avenue Steaks. Avenue Steaks, a couple people Sambone that place, and just said, dude, this is a legit cheesesteak. Like it's just everything you want. After 6 or 7 beers, you go post up in South Philadelphia and grab a cheesesteak. Avenue Steaks doing it right. Oregon Steaks right there. Another place right around the corner, right down the street from Tony Luke's. Who was the dude that Sambone, Oregon? He had like the fucking American Oregon. Yeah, dude. Holy shit, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of those episodes. They're going to be gunning for me, Colin. I know it.
Keep going, man. No, you're not. It's Oregon. But people say Oregon Avenue.
Yeah, no, trust me. People wear it on their sleeves. Who's this fucking asshole from Bucks County talking about?
No, they'll call the state. They'll call the state Oregon, and then they'll say Oregon Ave. You're like, what?
Oh my god! And then you move closer, like towards like South Street. There's a bunch of places right there, like Ishka Bibbles.
Whew.
People rave about like the chicken cheesesteak at Ishka Bibbles. I haven't had like great success at Ishka Bibbles, but it is one of those like iconic spots. It's been around for 40, 50 plus years. I think there's 2 locations. There is 2 locations. Maybe Fried Uns and I went to the wrong spot the one day. We unfortunately caught a bad deal, but there's another spot that I think you can like go up window side and kind of, step out and just eat it right on South Street. I don't know, man. I got fond memories of that place. I got to get back there. But again, their chicken cheesesteak, I think, is one of the best in the city. What else we got? Jim's Steaks, unfortunately, they had a little house fire. They're down in the dumps right now. But
still legendary, though.
Oh, yeah, dude. You've been to Jim's, right?
Dude, I went in college, of course. I mean, Temple was right. I mean, we had a ball at Temple, and that's part of it too. Where I get into South Philly is like I grew up going to the stadiums, like every other kid from Bucks County, Montgomery County. Not a lot of time in South Philly. Maybe stop at Chickies or something, but not really. And then you get to Temple, and you're like, oh boy, here we go. And you pack on a good time at McGillen's, or you pack on some place on South Street or whatever, and you're like, well, what are we gonna eat? It's like Jim's, man. Grab a Yingling to polish it down with. Sit upstairs or whatever. So Jim's will be back and better than ever, I'm sure.
Dude, I've always had like a rule of thumb where, if it's chopped, go American. If it's that flat style, what do you call that? Flapjack, flats.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a correct name for it.
Steve Prince steak stop.
Dude, my brother went in there. He was samboning with the kids, and he went whiz chopped Jim's. And I could just tell, like, dude, that looks amazing. And he said,
I like the combo of them all. I'll be honest. Like, my uncle made a combo in Key West for the Super Bowl, and it's Shots and Giggles, and literally, like, it was like Whiz, Cooper Sharp, and something else, and like it was just ridiculous. Like, if I ever open a cheesesteak place, you're getting all 3. Sorry, folks.
Oh yeah,
and it has to be with onions or something like that. Like, yeah.
No,
that's the cool part about these places too. Meg, not to cut you off. Is like,
no, you're good.
Every place does it differently. Every place says like, this is how we do it. Like, if you don't like it, like, you could get something different, but we just don't suggest that. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, man. And that's and like it's not as cutthroat as it used to be. Like growing up, man, you honestly, like growing up as a kid, I remember going to Pat's and like watching people get kicked to the back of the line. If you don't say with or without the correct way and on time, like you get up to the front of the line, you say to that guy, yeah, I'll take a cheesesteak with and they're like, what? Get the fuck? Boom. Right to the back of the line. You got to wait another 50 people. Like that's how it was back in the late 80s and early 90s. It's either with, it's either without. Boom, bang, let's go. And like if you weren't prepared and you didn't say it properly, they sent you to the back of the line, dude. No joke. Yeah, and there's like the places like Talk of the Town I haven't hit. I've heard some good things. And then like dude, you kind of move right into like the sandwich shop and deli category. Like these places, they have cheesesteaks, but some of them are more known for like cutlets. Dude, and surprisingly enough, like your favorite meal of the day, like breakfast. So like what? So like Mike's Barbecue's on the list. That's not a breakfast joint. Mike's Barbecue. Shout out to Mike. These guys, unbelievable, dude. They came into the scene with just this vision that they could bring barbecue to South Philadelphia. I believe Mike went down south and just kind of learned the whole barbecue culinary experience down south, brought it back up to South Philadelphia. I know like your boy Kelsey's been there, Samboner. I went there for the first time and I posted up and it had the dude, oh my God, the brisket, cheesesteak, Cooper sharp cheese, fried onions on a fresh Karangi seeded roll. Like, dude, the first 2 or 3 bites, I'm like melt in your fucking mouth. I couldn't get over the fact that I was eating something like this, so creative, so unique. Now there's a ton of places out there doing the brisket cheesesteak, but we're talking ribs, we're talking cornbread, we're talking mac and cheese. Like, it's just a small little, South Philly hole in the wall. We serve people till it runs out. We could close at 2, we could close at 3, 4. It doesn't matter, right? And
I think that's my favorite part about these places, man. It's like we're closed.
Yep.
Like I love that. It's
yep.
Like, we're out. I'm sorry. We're not going to sell you some cheap bread. We're not going to. No, this is what we have. It's very old school. I love it, man. That's going to keep the old school in Philly. It's great.
Yeah, and this is like that's one that like falls into barbecue month, but it also falls into specialty John month. And then like they have just like that brisket cheesesteak. They do like a buffalo chicken cheesesteak too. Like, dude, if you haven't been to Mike's Barbecue, you're not living. Get there.
Get busy living or get busy going.
Baby. Right around the corner on 2nd Street, Delores. Dude. Now they're serving cheesesteaks, they're serving cutlets, they're serving hoagies. Little hole in the wall on 2nd Street. This lady's holding it down, dude. I mean, fucking tough as nails, baby. I mean, this is the kind of the place that you just want. You send your kids to, cut their teeth, do a little Samboner on the streets. I got this awesome Philly special mural right outside of Dolores's. They specialize. I believe they specialize in cutlets. I think I'm going to say that their number 1 item on the menu is their cutlets. They went viral with the Dorito with the Dorito cutlets. So what they were doing was like breaking up like a bag of Doritos and deep frying cutlets with like the crunches of a Dorito, and it went viral, dude. Like it like sold out. Like people couldn't get this Dorito cutlet sandwich because they made like, I don't know, 60, 70 of them a day, and they just sold out. Actually, this place also holds a near and dear spot in my heart because I Samboned there. I kicked off cutlet month from Delores the one day, and within 2 hours, they're sending me messages. We ran out of rolls. We ran out of this. We ran out of that. Holy shit, your review did wonders. I'm like, really? Fucking a Samboner review did that? Like, I don't know if I was the main reason, but I'd like to think I was. And just whatever we can do for these local businesses, these small businesses. It's just exciting. It's fun. So again, Delores is holding it down. Next on the list, Little Nick's, classic spot on the corner of Clarion and Moyamensing. Again, OG Joe Sambo in this place. I have not been to Little Nick's. Shame on me. But cutlets, hoagies, cheesesteaks. Dude, this is like right in the heart of South Philadelphia. You're heading down to the game. Great spot to just pick up some classic hoagies and grinders and cheesesteaks. These guys have been doing it right for a long, long time. They just wear it on their sleeves. Huge fans of the Samboner. Shout out. Appreciate all the love and support. I'll continue to, lean on Little Nick's when I'm heading down to a Phil's game or a Birds game. But dude, this is just like, and Colin, like these guys, these are the types of places that also serve like breakfast sandwiches. Like,
yes, the long hots, like the long hots with like eggs and peppers and cheese. And you're like, this is
God, you're no way you're gonna find a better breakfast sandwich than you would at like a corner spot in South Philadelphia, like a Little Nick's.
And you can argue too, it's because they use the same flat top for everything. So it's like whatever was cooked, whatever was prepped.
It's marinating, baby.
Marinating.
Meatballs is another place right on the corner of 16th and Wolf. Just another classic South Philly corner shop. Dude, just extremely passionate about sandwiches. I've had their cutlet. I sambone their cutlet. I think I pronounced their name wrong during my video, and people just lashed out on me like I'm a fucking idiot. Well, guess what? I am. But at the end of the day, I'm a Samboner, and I do what it takes to get out there and showcase these places. And Meatballs is doing it right, dude. Like, you can actually, if I'm not mistaken, like, if you're outside Meatballs, you're Sambone, you're posted up in the corner, you can see the stadiums like running down the street. So it's like right there. It's just so cool, man. It's like the Mecca. It's like right there. It's South Philly through and through. It's just one of those places, again, you could probably pick up an awesome breakfast sandwich. They do the cheesesteaks. They do the cutlets. They do the hoagies. All this probably wouldn't be possible also without, like, these classic bakeries, Colin, like the Berardi Brothers and Sarcone's Deli, like, Antonio's Deli right around the corner from Angelo's. They just have like Sarcone's rolls just like stacked up, and they're serving the cutlet sandwiches, the chicken parm sandwiches. It's like, dude, like, without that bread, without that Sarcone's Deli bread, without those Karangi bakeries of the world, all this could not be possible.
They're the cornerstone of like South Philly. Like, everybody now, if you watch the Samboning videos, you watch other videos, everyone's like, this is on a seeded roll from here. This is on this from here. They make their bread in house. Like, the best part about it is people always talked about Philly bread before. Like, yeah, it's Philly bread. Like, it's the best. Now it's like, you're either, Karangi's, or you're, Angelo's the best, or Sarcone's. Like, it's just awesome.
It is, dude. It is. And there's a ton of them. We could probably do a show on all of those bakeries.
We'll get, and my apologies for stepping away there for those that are watching. There's a tornado warning here, and there was an armed robbery warning like in the neighborhood. So, like, I don't know what was going on, but some sort of sirens going on outside with some announcement. I don't know if it could be the SWAT outside. I have no idea, but we keep on Samboning. I'm like looking at my, like, trying to figure out, do I need to like take shelter, lock my door? I have no idea. So
it's never a dull moment here at the Samboner show. But yeah, we'll just keep ripping through these, man. There's just so many spots, like Nick's Charcoal Pit. I Sambone this like beef tip sandwich the one day heading down to the shore. Cool little spot right in South Philadelphia. What else we got? Oh, dude, old original Nick's roast beef right on 20th and Jackson. Doesn't get any better than the original Nick's roast beef on 20th and Jackson. If you have not ever been to Nick's roast beef on 20th and Jackson, do yourself a favor. Just the ultimate spot to hit before a game, after a game.
Unreal.
Don't discount the gravy fries. That place is unbelievable. It's been Samboned a million times.
Yeah, you get the whole thing, right? You go there, you don't have to say, I'm going to get the sand. Listen, you're already there committing, and you're already ready to get on the bike the next day, maybe go for a long walk.
Yeah.
You've already had 10 beers. What's another 1,000?
That's the thing. It's just one of those iconic corner spots, bar, got the beers, you got the TVs, you got the great food. It's just, dude, it's just South Philly through and through. There's nothing to change, and hopefully they never do anything to it. Vincenzo's is another spot on 9th Street. It's been Samboned a couple times. Great meatballs, great cutlets, great cheesesteaks. Lorenzo's and Sons. Shout out to Lorenzo's Sons. The reason I bring Lorenzo's and Sons up, I don't think we're going to be touching on pizza in the South Philadelphia episode, but they are a big component of the Philly taco. So the Philly taco is a combination of Jim's Steaks, where you go get a cheesesteak from Jim's Steaks, and then you go get a slice of pizza from Lorenzo's and Son, and you wrap that slice of pizza around the Jim's Steaks, and that's actually really sad that anybody would ever decide to do that. I have yet to ever have the Philly taco, but if you want to go out there and make some fun content, I'm sure you'll probably pick up a couple followers by doing so.
I'll say this. On the side note, you talk about pizza. Obviously, South Philly guys, unbelievable pizza and Italian food. And I'll get into it here later in the show. But Angelo's Pizza, okay? It's still Angelo's Pizzeria, folks. I took a box of their pizza home when I Samboned the cheesesteak, and I kept it on the train, and people on the train are coming up to me like, not like, hey, weirdo, why do you have a box of pizza sitting next to you? They're like, can I have a slice? I said, absolutely not. I'm taking this home, and I'm putting it in freaking aluminum foil, and I'm saving it. And I ate pizza every day.
Yeah, man.
It's so good. So that's a side note, but
I love it. I love it. So just to kind of round out the deli sandwich shops, man, and apologies if we missed a couple, but George's right on 9th Street, Italian Market, they've been holding it down for years. Antonio's Deli, that's like one of my favorite places in the city. It's just a hidden gem that just doesn't get a lot of love, but they're not huge on like social media. I don't think they really care. They just perfect food, and they do a great job of doing it. Pastificio is a great spot down on Packer Ave by the stadiums. Anthony and those guys do it right. I love going to Pastificio before the games. Just a great family-run business right there next to Chickies and Pete's. Famous 4th Street Deli, an unbelievable, iconic spot to hit. A great Jewish deli, great Reubens, huge portions. If you're looking like, you go to Pat's, you go to Geno's, you go to famous 4th Street Deli too. It's just one of those iconic spots in South Philadelphia. Cosme's Deli is another great spot for hoagies pregame. Red's Hoagies, Ricci's, all these spots have been Samboned, and they'll continue to be Samboned because these guys just consistently put on a great show and produce a great product day in and day out. And it's tough to go wrong if you just put that tender, that love, that care into the sandwiches like these guys do on a regular basis. Then we'll just keep coming back, baby. We'll just keep Samboning.
Just keep Samboning. Take a look, take a bite. I'll take the baton here, Mickey, because you just ripped off just legendary places, and we're about halfway through. I'm going to rip these off, guys. There's so much here. Like, again, this was almost like Delco in a way, even though South Philly to me probably even bigger. There's so much. It's a city, but still, they're both very similar in the sense that there's so many bars, there's so many restaurants, there's so much. You can't. We're trying our best to get everything here. So I'll hit you with some of the bars that we love. Listen, South Philly, Chickies and Pete's. They go hand in hand. Legendary spot. It's been there forever. The crab busts, the crab fries. I love their pizza. Their cutlets are great. Like, everything's just great, right? Like, nothing is like blow your socks off, but everything's just really good. You get the audio of the Phillies game on. Everyone's got a time and a moment. They had a special time at Chickies and Pete's. The service, the people, the swag, the gear. Like, it's just, there's something about it.
Can I say something about Chickies real quick?
Sure. It's your show, Mick.
Dude, shout out to Chickies, honestly, because like, I remember my dad taking me to the original in Mayfair. Now they have like 60 plus locations all over the tri-state. I was talking to you in Bordentown, New Jersey. There's like, oh, here's a Chickies. But Chickies and Pete's was also the game changer when it came to the melted American cheese, right? People went and got those crab fries, but there's nothing better than dipping it into the melted American. And then Steve's picked up the melted American, and now everybody's melting the sharp American, the Cooper Sharp. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Great point, Mick. And that's where I was going with it. My kind of favorite thing, the lobster cheesesteak is unreal. It's got the melted American on top. I like, and again, because they had the one in Warrington and I was at Wood, and like, we were just starting, like, football was great. Parents wanted to go party somewhere after. We wanted to go eat somewhere as players. So we'd stuff our faces at Chickies right there in Warrington. But to me, you get those Old Bay hot shrimp, and you get the bread that you get with dinner, and then the cheese sauce from the fries. You dip the cheese sauce and dip the bread into the shrimp kind of boil. Oh my God. That's like my favorite thing there. So good. Love Chickies. Shout out. Staple in South Philly. Palladium, one of my favorite places, the old school version and the new school version. Really cool spot. Legendary.
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah, I mean, it's legendary, right? Like, my Uncle Chuck used to cover the Flyers for 25 years, Chuck Gormley. He would go down there with like Coetzee and like LeClaire and like all these old school guys. Like, and then when all the people would cover the Flyers in the playoff games, like from Montreal and all, they'd come down, like Chuck would take them to the Palladium after every single game. So if you walk in the Palladium, like, it was a who's who, especially in the 90s and 2000s, of like Flyers and Eagles. And like, it was a different vibe. It was like kind of the hideout pub for a lot of the sports writers, kind of a secret Palladium hideout for a lot of the people that would come down. So shout out to, Palladium. Another place that everyone talks about from all over the country is, hey man, what's the bar between all of the ballparks and the stadiums in Philly? That's Xfinity Live. I remember when they knocked down the Spectrum. I remember seeing a picture of what it was supposed to look like when my buddy's dad was organizing the joint and kind of doing operations in South Philly there. And he was like, dude, this really cool bar is going to be there. A bunch of bars condensed in one thing, concert menu. Well, that's Xfinity Live. If you're from outside of Philly and you want a place to go have beers for the game, obviously all the places in South Philly were about the name, but Xfinity Live.
The bars are 1100 Social.
Yep.
Broad Street Bully's Pub, Chickies and Pete's, Geno's Steaks, Lorenzo's and Pizza, PBR Philly, Victory Beer Hall. Dude, it's a great spot. Honestly, like, at first when they built it, I was like, what are they building here? Is this like a wiffle ball stadium or something? Like, it just looked like a mini stadium. But dude, it's it's perfect. It's perfect for Philadelphia. It's exactly what we needed. On Sundays, the NFL, like, the game day guys will come out and post up on the little turf field they have back there with Lincoln Financial Field in the back. They got live music, in the back on the stage, and it's just people are flowing in and out of there, especially like midsummer when the stadiums are packed. That place is fucking ripping, dude.
It's built for the masses. It's properly built, right? Big rooms, big spaces, big bars. Get the PBR bar. Like it's a little chaotic, and I absolutely love it. Yeah. I mean, we're at the Flyers game. We're there for 2 periods. We're like, all right, you just want to watch the rest of the game at Xfinity? Yeah, let's go watch the rest of the game at Xfinity. Like, like it gives it that option too. I did that a couple of years ago with my pals pre-COVID, but I digress. So we've had Chickies, Palladium, Xfinity Live, Triangle Tavern's awesome. Great chicken parm and wings. It's killer. Drinks. South Philly Taproom. This place, I've never been. Everyone tells me about it. Check out their Instagram. I mean, your mouth's going to water the entire time. It's just ridiculous. It just looks ridiculous. Tattoo Mom, awesome spot. Unreal burger, bomb burger, and just really cool atmosphere. You got the Bach Bar, which is a neighborhood rooftop bar, and there's so many bars in South Philly, guys. We didn't even know where to do and what to think with this. People just send us all these, and then these are the ones that Mick and I came up with. And a lot of these places double as a restaurant and a bar. Lot to unpack here. Now I digress into the restaurant. Stogie Joe's, love what they got going on. Villa di Roma, classic Italian food.
Oh, we should have Joe Perry on and talk about Villa di Roma.
Joe Perry.
Can't talk about Villa di Roma without talking about Joe Perry.
Well, listen, we had Joe Perry on, guys. You want to go back? He talks about it on that episode too. But Villa di Roma is amazing Italian food.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
Dude, it's ridiculous. The best. I mean, all these places, my mouth's watering. Rouse on 9th Street, Italian Market, oldest Italian restaurant in the U.S. You got, obviously, like I said, Villa di Roma, Bomb Bomb.
Dude, Bomb Bomb. Let's go. Time out. Bomb Bombs, dude. So Bomb Bombs is near and dear to the Samboner crew. My brother and I used to go there all the time. It's a slash Italian restaurant and barbecue spot. The food is off the chains. It's absolutely off the chains. Old school corner spot, South Philadelphia. Nothing's changed over the last 50 years. And dude, it's like honestly the best like chicken parm, veal parm you'll ever have in your entire life. It really is. It's that good.
Take a look. Take a bite, Samboners. Mick stamped and approved.
Boom.
You got Irwin's, Mifflin Street, seafood, homemade pasta, higher end place, creative menu, fresh meals, cocktails look ridiculous. Of course, the Italian classic. Juana Tamale. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Fire Mexican food. I mean, this is the thing I'm talking about South Philly. Is like, it's not just Italian and cheesesteak, folks. This is some mouth-watering tacos. Like, I'm a mess. I'm trying to keep my diet right here as we get into the heart of my tryout season.
I'm starving.
And I'm looking at these Instagrams like, holy shit, man. Somebody sent me this. Somebody sent me that. So we're trying to feature that. Mike's Barbecue. Obviously hit on that. But smoked chicken cheesesteak?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, smoked chicken cheesesteak. Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Dude, we got to go to Mike's. I'm telling you, we got to go to Mike's next time you're in the city. It's a must.
Dude, I'm in. I know we touched on it, but I want to touch on it again. I have to keep it on my list. Keep things good. So you got El Mezcal, Cantina, Tacos. Then you got, hopefully I can say this right. Let's see, Legendary Squares Pizza. Did I put that? I spelled that wrong. It's Santucci's.
Yeah, that's it. Wait, Santucci's, dude. What's that? Their 10th location? They just opened up in South Philadelphia?
Yeah, the Italian market area. It's freaking money. Square Pizza, obviously. You got Barbacoa Chef. This place was cool on Instagram to check it out. Higher end Mexican food. I want to keep it moving. Let's see. Bop. You got Rex and Royal, El Chingo Philly, Punk Burger, Found Philly. Let's see. Taco Heart, East Passyunk, Chicks Philly, Nipotino. And then Stina Pizzeria, just several places. There's so many.
On and on, man.
I know. I'm just trying to make sure we hit them.
No, I trust me. I get it, man. I knew when we were going to do this episode, it's like going to get overwhelming. I might just jump in my car and go down there.
Unreal. And then this is a category because I don't even know what to put in our last segment here. It's like breakfast, brunch, pastry, specialty. Like what else is left? I don't even know. Like we could have a water ice category or water ice category. We could have a freaking pastry category. You could have a pasta category. We'll be here all day. People will be falling asleep at the wheel.
We could be.
Guys, listen, Nifty 50s. People know about it. The ridiculous cheesesteaks. Tasty cake cheesecake. Excuse me. What am I saying? Ridiculous milkshakes. Nifty 50. I'm going to start over. Hello. How are you, bud? Minute 45. Nifty 50s. Unreal milkshakes. Tasty cake milkshake. How are you? That is right up my alley. And then all the good diner specialties and eats. Jason Kelsey's been there, right? Like wings, like classic diner food. Like love that place. Nifty 50s. Check it out. Place is freaking awesome. I love Fitzwater Cafe for breakfast. This place is great. Used to go back in the day when I was in college all the time. You got the Dutch, you got Melrose Diner, you got Green Egg Cafe, you got the Breakfast Den, Comforting Cloud, the Tasty Philly, Brazilian Bakehouse, unreal. Let's see, what do we got here? Terramani Brothers, Frangelini's.
No. Termini Brothers.
Termini Brothers. Sorry,
Termini Brothers. Do you know how legendary Termini Brothers is, Colin?
I know, and I screwed it up. I read it too fast.
These fucking kids, I'll tell you.
Kids these days, 30. Termini Brothers.
Dude, they got a rum cake that weighs roughly 50 pounds, and every holiday, my mother-in-law like eats the whole entire thing. It's unbelievable. I think she gets a little buzz off it because it's got rum in it. And then she falls asleep because she fucking basically ate herself into a coma. But this thing is deadly, dude. Deadly.
My apologies to Meany Brothers Nation because I've been there and it's unreal as well. And
who is this kid? Where did he play football?
Yeah, guy. Football. How? Huh? Who? Frangine. And then you got what's that? Korshak Bagels.
Oh yeah,
unreal, bro.
Oh, yeah. Remember Danny was talking about these. He was raving about these guys.
Dude, John's Water Ice, of course. I mean, come on, the best. And then listen, there's so many more spots. We try to hit all of them, but that's kind of Mick and I digressing here on this list of just like monstrosity. If we miss something, let us know. If we need to go hit a place up, let us know. This isn't a perfect list, but man, we tried our damnedest. We probably give you 150 different places in a 1 mile by 1 mile vicinity.
No, I mean this is world-renowned stuff right here, dude. I mean, this is South Philadelphia. It doesn't get any better. Honestly, it doesn't. And, you know, we've been through quite the shit show here in the last couple of years. And unfortunately, a lot of these places have likely, you know, suffered. But I'm hopeful that, you know, the times are starting to change for the better and people can acknowledge that, you know, these places are the places that have paved the way for, you know, I guess, you know, us foodies out there that just appreciate a good meal from time to time. But there's just so many cool hidden gems throughout South Philadelphia and all the outskirts of Philadelphia, Center City, West Philly, North Philly, that you just, it's cool, man. You got to venture out. You got to go try these places. Like, you're reading these places off. I'm like, I've never been there. And it's like, man, alive. Like, I got to get to these places because I'm sure they hold, you know, just a little special place in a lot of people's hearts. And I love that. Like, I love that.
No doubt. And I apologize if we said anything wrong. I try to take responsibility of saying things right, but that's a part of some of these places with a lot of vowels at the end and this, that, and the other thing. Mick, anything else about South Philly before we wrap up, man? It's near and dear to my heart. It gave me a huge hug when I was at Temple, and I kind of needed one at times. And I would go down and see my buddy Albert in South Philly there, and I'm like, I need a family meal, man. Boom, we go here, we go there, or his parents in their, you know, row home in South Philly would make meatballs and pasta. Like, you're right. I could live there, Mick, in Philly for sure. Absolutely could live there.
No, man, that's pretty much the rundown. You know, I just want to take a minute to shout out some of our friends of the Samboner show. Much appreciation to our friends over at Cafe Carmela. You know, they're bringing a little bit of South Philly over in the northeast area of Philadelphia. Also about to open up a new location in Huntington Valley. Appreciate their love and support and just supporting us here at the Samboner show. Another shout out to Mike and Nick Berardi, the Berardi Bros.
I can't wait to go there, Mick, dude.
And they're also like South Philly, like Philadelphia, Northeast Philadelphia. Like, these guys just get it, right? They're bringing that South Philadelphia vibe to Sea Isle. They're bringing it to Southampton, PA, Bucks County.
Mother's Day weekend, I am storming into that place.
You better fucking get there early, dude.
It's fine. I'm okay with it.
They are absolutely crushing it.
Don't tell me with a good time, Mick.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And you know, our last but not least, our good friends over in Hainesport, New Jersey, Lilo's. I had an opportunity to sit down with John again the other day, and you know, this guy has so much appreciation for, like, you know, the Dannys and the Angelos of the world. Like, he's not it's not a South Philly cheesesteak. Like, he's more all about New Jersey and Trenton. But at the end of the day, like, this is the kind of guy that, like, just just has that appreciation, right? Like, I hope he listens to this episode. I'm sure he's been to a ton of these spots. I mean, the guy loves good food, good people. So real, big thanks to John and Lisa over at Lilo's. And then, last but not least, Hank sauce, man. If you're a fan of good hot sauce and like me, you like to pound it like bottle after bottle. Like I just down this shit, man. Seriously, bottoms up, drink hot sauce all day. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. But no, if you're looking for a fun gift for a bachelor or a birthday or whatever, go on to hanksauce.com and use the promo code SAMBONE, baby. But yeah, man, this has been a ton of fun. Love the location episodes. I think we're going to be gearing up next month for a little Sea Isle action.
Ever heard of it?
Sea Isle City. Maybe we'll tie a couple other islands in. I don't know. We got to talk about it, but
should we do Sea Isle? We talk about it here on air, and we'll leave it up to the Samboners. Should we do Sea Isle and Avalon? Is there enough in Sea Isle to feature? I know there's a lot of places to eat, but like
the Jersey Shore.
No, hell no.
Too big? Yeah, I know.
That's too big.
I know, because we
could compare like Wildwood and Cape May. You could do Sea Isle and Avalon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these are a ton of fun. Please spread the love and, share these clips when we send them out on social media. These are great spots, right? And especially here in South Philadelphia. Like, try these spots out, man. When you head down to the next Phillies game, and you're setting up a tailgate, go to Little Nick's, go to My Paul's. No, Meatballs, not My Balls. Go to Meatballs. That was a funny clip.
Paul.
It sounded like I said My Balls, so I fucked that up.
And listen, leave it, we're very blessed, and a lot of us are. Those people are dependent on a lot of people to go down there and support them. Leave a tip, take care of somebody, in South Philly. It's a good place. You want these places to stay around. Don't complain when they go. And there's something commercial goes in there. Just go support it. That's my challenge. And to those, Mick, I think Samboner Nation, as we wrap up here, update them on the social media status, kind of with the Samboner show and everything.
Yeah, we got some traction, man. We got some traction. The Samboner Nation is strong, Colin. It really is. And a lot of people have reached out in concern. And unfortunately, Instagram just doesn't have the best support structure, I guess, when there's 18 billion people using.
We love you, Instagram, though. We love you.
Yeah, but you know what? Was in Florida and was walking poolside, and some guy jumped out of his some guy jumped out of his pool seat. Samboner Mick ended up being a guy from Canada, of all places. Brian Dembski. My brother and I, Dan Dembski, were huge fans of the Samboner Nation. And then I came back down from my hotel room. Brian was like, I just reached out to Dan, let him know I met you. I told the whole situation. Dan's got a friend that works for MECCA, and there's a case being looked at as we speak.
Legend.
Fingers crossed, Samboners, but we're going to get this page back. We're going to continue to rock and roll. And if for some reason, again, we push through, right?
The guy spills his daiquiri with a floater on his chest. Hey, Samboner!
Nah, man. Yeah, shout-outs are out there, man. Maniac Malloy and I at the game yesterday, and that's the beauty. Like, he's getting Samboner shout-outs. I'm getting Samboner shout-outs, dude. Samboner Nation, baby. There's no I in team.
No doubt, man. Listen, thank you guys for your support. Thank you all our friends and sponsors of the show, especially Original Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge sweet treats across the country. And then lastly, honestly, guys, thank you for listening and supporting the show. And in South Philly, what a great time. Can't wait to get to the ballpark this summer, get up there July 4th and being down the Jersey Shore. And stay tuned to more at the Samboner Show. I'm out. Samboner out.
Samboner out. Have a good weekend.